Live, live, live. Automotive Fridays. Automotive Fridays. Talking about negotiating with the customer's money, not your money today. It's Derek Simons, and it is my birthday. Today is my birthday. Coming to you live from our offices in sunny Central Florida. I think Grant is out of the country right now. And as usual, we appreciate him letting us jack his YouTube channel. And we're coming to you live on our Instagram and our Facebook. And really, lots of fun stuff going on. You know, I was talking about express buying with some people yesterday. And one of the concepts that I think is really hard for us to get into the back of our brain sometimes is that the customer, when they're doing their research online, spending that 8 to 9 hours worth of time going through websites, looking at the manufacturer's site, third-party sites, your website, your competition's websites, they've already got a really good idea of what the prices are. And when they get into the dealership and you handle them properly, correctly, with lots of information and moving them forward into the process, puts you in a position to have an express buying experience. You know, one of the things about express buying that's interesting is that the number one complaint that customers have still about purchasing a car or truck today takes too long. We did some work with some OEMs last year, and it's still over 4 hours and 45 minutes is the average transaction time to purchase a car. If you think about that for a second, as a sales professional, how does that help you? You know, on a Saturday, how many cars can you sell? 2, right? You sell 2 cars and it takes 10 hours. We need to get that transaction time down, right? We need to be prepared so that we can overcome objections and move through the process as seamlessly as possible so that we can get that transaction time down. Quicker that transaction time, higher the customer satisfaction. Quicker that transaction time, higher the profitability for the deal as well. So there's some pretty compelling reasons to do that. Now, the difference between an amateur and a professional is how they go about and approach this stuff. You know, last Automotive Fridays, we weren't on last week because I had a travel trip that I didn't have planned and came up suddenly. Last time we were talking about negotiations. We were talking about how do we present the worksheet in a manner that's professional so that we can engage the customer and we can get into a point where we can actually ask them to buy and know that there's only 5 things that they might come back out as of it, right? So the 5 possible objections from presenting the worksheet are: the price is too high, it's not enough for my trade, don't have that much money down, can't afford the monthly payment, or the interest rate's too high. Those are the only 5 things that a customer can come back at you with in regards to negotiation experience if you've properly presented the worksheet. Well, if you do it right, they've already seen the information on your website. They've already seen the information when they came into the dealership. So they've already got a pretty good experience. They got a pretty good idea anyway of where they're at. So with that being said, let's just run back to presenting that worksheet. Let's run through that real quick. And then let's talk about how do we overcome those objections on the different elements, right? So remember, you're walking around out on the lot with the customer and you're setting up the experience. You're setting up the negotiation experience. And you say to the customer, hey, Mr. Customer, you know, hardest part about buying a car truck these days is finding the one that's right for you and your family, right? You just mentioned that as you're going through. So now when you come back inside and you've walked them inside and you said, hey, can I get you a Coca-Cola, a bottle of water, a cup of coffee? You need anything? Nope, it's going to take me a couple of minutes. I'm going to go up and see my sales manager. I'm going to get you the final figures on that vehicle that you just selected. By the way, are we titling your name, your wife's name, both names? We're going to use the 123 Anywhere Lane address for titling purposes. Fantastic. I'm going to get that into our system so I can get you those final figures. Take me just a couple of seconds, get that information in. By the way, again, cup of coffee, bottle of water, anything? Nope, good to go. All right, go up. You see your manager, get your worksheet. Now that's from world famous ePencil right there. Still the industry standard after 17 years. Come back with the worksheet and we walk back in and we say to the customer, hey, you know, you did that hard part. You found that vehicle that you like. Now all you need to do is decide how you want to pay for it. And I'll buy you some options and lay that worksheet down in front of them. Based on the vehicle you selected, the current market value of your vehicle, we've prepared 9 payments at an average APR and 9 leases that allow you 12,000 miles a year. All I need you to do, Mr. Customer, is circle the payment that works for you and your family, sign here at the bottom, get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. So now we've made the initial presentation. Again, what did I say? There's a limited amount of things that the customer can respond back with. Price is too high. It's not enough for my trade. Don't have that much money down. Can't afford the monthly payment, or interest rate's too high. Now, the reality is that we know on average that most of the customers are going to go over here to the down payment and monthly payment. We're going to have some sort of negotiation experience on here. One of the things that's interesting though, is that if I ask salespeople, what do they think the number one objection is from customers? They tell me all the time, it's price. Okay. It's not. Almost 70% of the customers are going right to the down payment, monthly payment to start their negotiation experience. But we are going to talk about price today because I think it's important that you feel comfortable with price. If you're not comfortable with price, I set my marker down over here. Hang on. If you're not comfortable with price, it puts you in a position you can't be confident in handling everything else. So there's a couple of things that we really believe are absolutely critical for being successful in handling price negotiations. Remember what I said. We want to try and negotiate using the customer's money, not ours. Now, if we're negotiating strictly on price, what is that? That's our money, right? That's where my commissions come in. That's where it works. So when we are working with a customer, there's a couple of things that we need to remember in regards to how we handle price negotiations. First thing that we need to do, and this is, I cannot overemphasize this enough, is that you need to be prepared to overcome the objection with zero discount, right? So you have to overcome that objection. Zero. Why do I say that? Why do I say we got to overcome it with zero discount? Here's why. When you're talking to the customer, if the first thing that you say in regards to the price negotiations is, I don't know, I'm not sure, let me go talk to my boss. What are their expectations when you come back? Right? Their expectations when you come back is for a discount. So what we have to do is we have to be prepared to overcome that first price objection with no discount. There's a bunch of ways that we can logically do this. There's just a ton of them, but I'm going to tell you a couple of my favorite ones, okay? The first one, I want to put an A here. How about that? Is from a close long time ago. They called this restate, revalidate. I love this close because it's super logical. What are we doing? When we were out on the lot, we found what the customer liked. We gave them a presentation based on that. Now we're inside. They say the price is too high. And you say, hey, you know what, Mr. Customer? I understand. I get it. I totally understand where you're coming from. Out on the lot, you told me you wanted a white car. You wanted the gray leather interior. You wanted the integrated Bluetooth. You wanted the 20-inch alloy wheels. This vehicle has all that equipment and more, and it'll be worth more when you go to sell it because of those features. This is an excellent value. I just need your full legal name here. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Restate, revalidate, super simple, okay? It works because it restates the things that they like and it revalidates that this is a good deal. Now, my expectation is not that the customer is just going to roll over and go, okay, I'll take it. But you know what? I have to try. I have to go in with this because right now I need to be able to handle this objection with no discount, right? So that's one way. The second way that I can do this very easily with no discount is using alternatives. An alternative is not a switch, okay? A switch car is when we've done everything that we could and we can't close the deal and we say to the customer, hey, look, you just can't afford it. This is too much money. Let's go look at a different car. That's not going to work. It's not an alternative. An alternative is one that we proactively bring up when we're out on the lot. We're walking around out on the lot and we go, hey, by the way, would you consider this one? It doesn't have the 20-inch wheels. It's got the 18s. It's going to save you $2,000. That's about $40 a month in payment. Would you consider this car? Customer goes, no, I really want the 20-inch wheels. Okay, so they just told you that 20-inch wheels are worth $40 a month to them. Okay, so now when we're with the customer and we're negotiating, they're like, hey, that price is too high. That's just too much money. I can go right to the alternative close as well. This is another way to do it with no discount. Hey, look, you know what? Totally understand. Remember out on the lot, we were talking about the car with the 18-inch wheels instead of the 20-inch wheels? Well, that car would save you $2,000. And it'd be about $40 a month in payment. Let's go out there and take a peek at that. No, Derek, I want this one. I want the 20-inch wheels. Excellent choice. You deserve it. Give me your full legal name here. I'll get your car cleaned. You're ready for immediate delivery. Okay. So what we've just done is I did two examples of ways that we can handle the price objection with very little conflict. That's zero discount and it's very quick. Okay. So the whole goal with this is I don't have a drawn out long back and forth about the price. I want to get to the meat and potatoes. I want to get this deal closed. One of the things that Grant says all the time, and I think it's absolutely spot on, is that if you're going to take an ass whipping, take it fast, right? Don't make this thing into a marathon on a mini deal, right? We don't need marathon minis. Let's get the deal and let's get on to the next deal so we can be productive. But I still need to be able to overcome the initial price objection, zero discount, right? So the first option, restate, revalidate. Hey, out on the lot, you told me you wanted white. You wanted the gray leather interior. You wanted the Bluetooth, integrated Bluetooth. You wanted the 20-inch wheels. This vehicle has all that equipment and more. And you know what? It'll be worth more when you go to sell it because of those features. It's an excellent value. Give me your full legal name here. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Okay, that's first one. Second one's the alternative. Customer says, hey, you know what? The price is too high. I'm with you. I totally understand where you're coming from. Remember out on the lot, told you about the car that had the 18-inch wheels instead of the 20s. Told you it'd save you about $2,000, maybe about $40 a month. Let's go take a look at that one. We'll get, that one will be perfect for you. No, Derek, I want this one. I want the 20s. Excellent choice. Full legal name here. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Simple, to the point, direct, 2 minutes max. I've already gone through. I've asked the customer to buy again. Because remember, I've asked them to buy the first time, right? The initial presentation figures, circle and sign. They said the price is too high. I said, okay. I did restate, revalidate, or I did my alternative close, and they still said the price is too high. They're like, no, man, I'm not paying that. Okay. So now we need to move on to the next step, right? So the second step here is a small, logical discount. One of the biggest challenges in negotiations is that if it doesn't make sense to the customer, they're going to check out on you. They're going to be like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't know what we're doing here. Why are we doing this, right? So when you say, if I could, would you, what would it take to make me an offer? All you're doing is opening up a can of worms because you're going to get into the giggly weeds, man. They're going to say, well, I'll buy it for $10,000 less. Well, that ain't happening, okay? So let's try and control this and go with a small logical discount. We've got a ton of data. Probably about 30 million deals have been desk and e-pencil in the last 15 years. And when we look at it, there's one thing that we see consistently. Whatever the first pass discount is, it's very logical that the customer is going to expect that same amount of a discount on the next pass. So if you offer the customer $1,000, right, they're going to feel like you kept 50% of whatever you had in total to give them. So you have at least another $1,000. And if they can't get more after you give them that initial discount of $1,000, they're going to keep coming back and they're not going to understand it. They're going to be a mystery is what Grant says. They're going to be a mystery and they're not going to be able to make a now decision. So we want to keep that first discount small, okay? Logical and small. That's what we're after. Logical, small discount, right? So what could be a logical discount, right? There's so many different things that we can do. So we got, everybody knows this. We could use service, right? Are you going to service your vehicle with us, right? Service. That's one of the things that we can do. Service is great, right? Are you going to service your vehicle? Or are you not going to service your vehicle with us? We could use referral. And if I spelled that wrong, I'm sorry. We could use referral. We could have a referral discount, right? So we could have a local group, whether that's a credit union or teachers union, or they work for the local hospital, whatever it is. There's something that we can do logically to give them a small discount. Now, one of the things that we really believe that you need to do is you have this discussion with your manager before you even go back to the car, right? So you've got your figures, you talk to your manager, you say, okay, I'm gonna go back and make this presentation. If the customer objects and I need to go and give them a logical discount, I'm gonna do the service discount. How much can I do? And they're gonna look at the car and they're gonna say, okay, well, you are on a Ford Fusion. You can do $100 if they're gonna service your vehicle with us. You can do $200 if they're gonna service your vehicle with us. Whatever the number is, they're gonna set it up with you before you go back. This is the key. You need to know it before you start the negotiations, because if you get up to go back and get it, it's not as powerful. So you need to already know what that is. Now, let's say it's $200, okay? So I've just done my alternative close. Hey, it's too much money. Derek, that price is too high. Look, I'm with you. Let's go look at the 18s. Save you $2,000. No, Derek, I want the 20s. Great, give me your okay here. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. Look, I'm not doing it. It's just too much money. Listen, you're here. I get it. I want to work with you. I want to make this deal happen. Let's look at how we can do that. Are you going to service your vehicle with us? Well, why are you asking? Well, because if you don't buy a car from us, we're going to have to advertise for service customers just like we advertise to get sales customers in here. You're here, you want to buy a car. We don't have to advertise. If you're going to come back and service the vehicle with us, are you planning on doing that? Well, yeah, of course I am. I'm going to definitely service my vehicle here. Good. Well, then I can get you an additional $200. And you write that on here, $200 service discount. Need your initials here, full legal name here. I'll get your car cleaned and ready for immediate delivery. It's logical, okay? Fusion doesn't have that much markup in it, right? So a $200 discount is not a huge amount, but guess what? You're moving in the direction of the objection. You're doing it logically. You're not jumping all over the place. You're not giving them huge discounts. You're not, just running around trying to make stuff up. You're doing it logically. Now, what if the customer says, no, I'm not going to service here? Well, that's fine. It doesn't matter. This works both ways. So let's look at it. So I say, hey, are you planning on servicing your vehicle here? No, I'm just here because I saw your prices online. I'm not going to be coming back. I live on the other side of town, and with traffic, I wouldn't be able to do it. No problem. One of the things that we know is that we spend about $200 in goodwill on customers that purchase their cars from us in the service drive over the usual course of ownership. You're not going to be servicing your car here. So I don't have to worry about that $200. I'll just put $200 goodwill credit service department. Give me your initials here, full legal name at the bottom, get your car clean and ready for immediate delivery. So the service works whether they service the car with you or if they don't service the car with you. And most customers are going to tell you that they're going to service there. Just, I want you to know you can use that no matter what. Okay. The referral close, right? So depending on the cars, a lot of salespeople like asking for referrals. I do too. I think it's a great way to go. And you can talk with your manager again. Hey, it's $50 a referral. It's $100 a referral, right? So you can tell them, listen, Mr. Customer, you're here. You want to buy a car. I am a professional salesperson. The way I make my money is by taking good care of my customers. And one of the things that is absolutely critical for me is getting referrals from my customers. I tell you what I'm willing to do. I'll give you $50 for each person that you refer to me, up to 4 people. I can do it right now. You give me 4 people, their name, their email address, their phone number, whatever, however you want me to contact them. I'll reach out to them and I'll give you $50 each for it. So I'll give you $200. You give me 4 people I can reach out to. I'll do it right now. I'll get you an additional $200 off. Give me your 4 people, email address, phone number, whatever's easiest, full legal name here. I'll get your car clean and ready for immediate delivery. So you tell them the story, you build the case, you give them an option. It's $50 a person. Give me 4 people. Boom. Right? What are we trying to do? Again, we're trying to move deeper into the process. We're trying to do it logically, trying to make this very easy. And if this works and I get 4 opportunities for people to talk to, man, I love it. Right? I love it. It's a great way to go. All right. And then the last one is local group, right? So they're a firefighter. They're a teacher. They're with Sam's Club. They're with BJ's. They're with Costco. They are at North Star Credit Union, right? Whatever that is, if you found out in the initial needs assessment, this allows you to use that to take them to a logical discount as well. Hey, you know what? I just realized something. You told me that you work over at Florida Hospital. That's fantastic. We've got a special program with them. I can get you an additional $300 off because you work at Florida Hospital. Give me your full legal name here. Get your car clean, ready for immediate delivery. So now we've logically overcome the price objection with 0 discount. We've offered them a small discount. And the third thing that we need to do, and I joke about this, but it's the easiest way for everybody to remember it. Beg for the deal. So lots of ways that we can approach it. One of my favorites that we have in the book is very simple. We've gone through this. I've made my presentation. I've done both the first 2 steps. I'm like, hey, man, that's just not good enough. And I say, I got it. I understand. What is it about this car that doesn't make it worth the $20,000? What is it about this car that doesn't make it worth the $21,826? They're going to say, well, it's not the car. I'm just not willing to pay that. Okay, so now the next logical question is, all right, look, you're here, you want to do business. I don't want to let money stand in the way. What's it going to take to go ahead and get this thing wrapped up? What is it that you're willing to pay for this car? Okay, and they're going to make you an offer. Now, what we have found is that a lot of times you'll get the offer here or here before you even have to get down to begging for the deal. I'm completely fine with begging for the deal. I just don't want to do it first. So the whole thing that we want to do, let's work this from the top and beg for the deal last. Right? There's a saying that's been around the car business for a long time. We're all deadly at invoice, man. I have seen salespeople that turn into Grant Cardone closers when you tell them there's nowhere else to go, right? When they hear that and they know that they're going to lose the deal, man, they're back there. They're the best closers in the world. I'm telling you, this is 3 cigarettes a day. Let's get this wrapped up. Okay. They become the best closers in the world when they know there's nowhere else to go. And I think that that's part of the difference between an amateur and a professional. Because if you're truly a professional, guess what you're doing? You're closing like that at the beginning, right? And if we're that passionate and we're that serious and we are that professional at the beginning, we're asking the customer for the business, we're going to get more business. Now, I want you to think about this logically. This isn't just about increasing your gross profit. While it could help, this is about selling more cars. The reason why, when you approach it this way, it makes it more realistic for the customer, right? One of the stories that I tell all the time is about buying my house, and the realtor was trying to sell me on the fact that they don't do discounts. And I said, hey, look, I get it. I hear what you're saying. I said, but this is what I'm willing to pay. And she says, well, I can't authorize that. And I was like, oh, that means that somebody can. And so I said, who can? She's like, well, my boss. Okay. So now I knew it wasn't true. So listen, be confident, be powerful in your presentation, and let's get excited when we go back in there. Remember, 3 steps, right? Make your presentation. If they object on price, overcome it with no discount. Overcome it using a small logical discount if they continue to object on the price. And if you still can't get it closed, beg for the deal. Look, we need to make this deal. Remember, they're only going to shop 1.2 to 1.6 dealerships. Don't let them leave. Let's try and go for the close. Let's ask them professionally. Let's get this deal wrapped up. So, hey, that's your tips for today. Automotive Fridays. I'm Derek Simons with the Cardone Group. We truly appreciate you spending your Friday afternoons with us. Let's be focused on this for the weekend. Let's just truly get focused on this, and let's go in and let's be prepared. Let's be powerful. Let's be professional. Let's make it happen. As always, 10xyourprofits.com. Check it out, 10xyourprofits.com, CardoneInstitute.com. ePencil, man, I'm telling you, still the industry leader. Talk to us about ePencil. 3 clicks and a print. You got lease, retail. You got the whole deal. We can help you out with it. Express buying. It's pretty cool. Got a lot of stuff going on. Love to talk to you guys about it. Appreciate you spending your Friday afternoon with me. Have a great, successful weekend. 10xyourprofits.com.